So today I thought I should take up the curious case of transgenders. This is a category of people who are neither here nor there. These are people who are actually suffering a mischief of God Almighty. But the society treats as if they are victims of their own mischief. Or in other words, they are responsible for their fate or their situation. In fact, most of us are skeptical, scared, or hesitant anything to do with transgenders, because we feel that the society would attach a stigma to us if we have anything to do with transgenders. So we just keep away from them. But some of the sadists amongst us actually gain great pleasure from teasing, harassing, torturing transgenders. The net result is, till recently, life of a transgender has been less than miserable. It has been intolerable, unthinkable, insufferable. But then recently, society and the governments across the world have woken up to the fate of these people, and they are trying to redeem them, bring them back to mainstream. Let's check out some of the slides while I continue with the narration. Okay guys, so these are some of the visuals of these people who are actually subjected to so much humiliation, isolation by the society. Slides please, I can move on. No, these are just... so their faces depict the kind of tragic circumstances that they go through, and the hopelessness is reflected in their faces. Next slide. Okay, fine. Now, see, what should be the approach of the society towards transgenders? See, we all have our own sense of delicacy or a kind of inhibition or even prohibition from society in dealing with transgenders. Many a time, if you deal with transgenders, it is given funny undertones and dirty insinuations by the society. Now, what I would suggest is that transgenders should not only be brought back to the mainstream of the society, they should also be treated on par with other people. You know, gender should not be a consideration in our dealings. For example, gender discrimination is a crime internationally. Transgender discrimination is an even bigger crime, because this is a category of people who have already been done injustice to by God Almighty. Now we should not add to their insult and injury. So when you deal with a transgender, what I feel is you should ignore the gender and you should deal with the human being. You know, see, gender considerations should be there with a positive bearing, in the sense it's good to give priority to women. See, it's always women first. Good. So that's a positive consideration. Many a time in many Asian societies, and especially Indian society, women are given the side seat, they are given the back seat, they are given second priority. Even in families, the girl child is given second-class citizens treatment. So all this needs to change. Gender should not be a consideration in dealing with a person. A person should be dealt as another human being. Gender should not be a consideration at all in interpersonal relationship. Back to me, please. So I feel transgenders should not only be given equal opportunities in careers in society, they should be given certain consideration and concession, considering the fact that they have been psychologically traumatized by society throughout their upbringing and throughout their life. So they should have a kind of reservation. Every place, every job should have a certain number of reservations for transgenders. And there must be a strict code of conduct in these organizations, how to treat transgenders. And the Indian Constitution has strict laws, should have strict laws, which make sure that no transgender is ever treated badly. The laws must be so strict that it must act as a detriment. It must prevent, it must be a serious deterrent for any crime or any insult or injury to the transgender. I would say insulting a man is an offense if the punishment, the liable punishment is, let's say, 3 months imprisonment. An insult to a woman should invite 6 months imprisonment. And an insult to a transgender should invite 1 year's imprisonment. They must be protected, safeguarded. We must always bear in mind they are the victims of a mischief of God Almighty. They are not the outcome of their own mischief. They are not transgenders by choice. Most of them curse their existence. And until we show humanitarian consideration to transgenders, this section of society are going to deteriorate, land up in dirty professions, and become a liability for society. So let's be doubly cautious dealing with transgenders. Thank you very much.